Yeah, I would think 25 years in the game and then 13 years fructifying, refining, and making this better every year, we'd be good at it. So um, we're open to some Q&A. I see that we had some comments and questions coming in. Justin Price says GIST's main benefit over other upper ontologies seems to be a design that prioritizes human usability, keeping the concept count low and the abstraction concrete in order to reduce cognitive burden for modeling. Take, for example, a world where humans are no longer in the loop for data modeling. Will there be a time where it makes sense to fit GIST under a more abstract upper ontology like BFO? Well, we beat you to it in the presentation. So if you get BFO or if you get GIST, you get the other for free. Buy one, get one free. So Steve mentioned you can go under the semanticarts.com/gist and you could download the paper where we go a little bit more detailed into that mapping. JU is asking, is there a tool that can be used to find matching ontologies based on modeling requirements? I don't know if that's pertinent to the GIST presentation. I'm not aware of anything.
I'm not aware.
No, Nora, I'm sure a lot of people are working on these kinds of things, but I haven't seen any myself.
Okay. We have something from Andreas. Is there a mapping between units in GIST to units in QUDT?
Yes. Yes, we seeded the original data from QUDT, but if you go to the QUDT site, there's Sparkle endpoint, and just query to see how many classes there are several hundred, I think. Whereas, we're doing the same thing with just a handful. It's like maybe 3 classes. So I think it's easier to use. Take a look at it. The goal is that it's far easier to use than QUDT.
Is there a mapping to IDO planned?
Not yet.
And then I just want to ask, in regards to OWL, how does this play with OWL?
Look, GIST is an OWL ontology, and it's OWL DL2 compliant.
Excellent. That's a question from my part. Goes to show how much I know about GIST. So anything that we would like to cover? Dave is bringing in the comment section GIST to QUDT. Let me just put it in the comment section.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
that's correct.
So, Michael, anything you'd like to add to the presentation? I know you were behind the scenes contributing to the fabric of the presentation and the examples.
Just to underline what Justin said, noticing that one key aspect of GIST is it's using human-friendly language. I came from academia, and I was there for many years, and when I've seen all this theoretical, philosophical stuff, and when I was real breath of fresh air coming to work at Semantic Arts. So I just want to highlight how much I like that aspect of GIST.
And that BFO to GIST mapping, I mean, BFO, you probably have heard, is now being mandated by federal agents here in the U.S. domestically. So if you're working with GIST or you're working with BFO, we can play nice in that way. And we're more than happy to help you ground your data models in human-friendly language. Steve, you have any last-minute sign-off message?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to throw it up to the ontologists that are with us. Is that, I mean, they've worked in a lot of ontologies, and GIST is certainly one of those, and we're seeing certainly more value associated with mapping GIST to these ontologies. But maybe they can talk a bit about experiences with other public ontologies that they've used, or based on the industry, or whatever the sector was, and how they've been able to incorporate those little pieces within the GIST ontology.
One thing that we've noticed over the years is the W3C has developed some ontologies, and media is one example, where if they're going to use it in that narrow range, that's perfectly reasonable ontology. However, they make certain assumptions with domain and range, so that anything that has a domain or range is inferred to be a media object. So we have noticed time and again that when we look at other people's ontologies, they don't suit our particular style guidelines. Which, Rebecca, are those publicly available, our style guidelines?
Yep, they're in the GIST repository, in the GitHub repository.
Okay. Well, just last point to Dan Guoshen's wink, wink, nudge, nudge comment on we should develop an ebook. We are going to take these presentations and convert it into a paper, and we're going to be condensing all our collective expertise to give a primer and make this information a whole lot more accessible. So we appreciate you tuning in.